nice.
That'll work.
I think people might enjoy the Japanese voiceover. Just curious, because
Alright.
that would mean
Well,
I
hey
have to...
guys. What's up?
Oh, hi.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so we good?
This is a video game. Yeah, we can count down.
Okay. So, hello everyone. This is Sonic Battle. So we're gonna be doing a Sonic story and Tails' story. It's gonna be on a already done file, but the rule states that I just gotta have an unmodified emerald. So, alright, 3, 2, 1, go. So, the story of this game is basically Sonic and Tails and company find a lone robot that's been bullied by Eggman, and he apparently wants Chaos Emeralds. So, oh boy, looks like I'm dropping frames, but basically Sonic here is going to be helping train this robot. And that's basically the whole story. We're just going to be trying to get all the 7 Chaos Emeralds and uncover the mystery of this robot. Yeah, it's a very basic story. I'll say this, it's very text heavy. You're going to be seeing a lot of just going to be a lot more text than there would be actual gameplay. And unfortunately, I'm playing on the Japanese version, so we won't be able to tell what's going on with the story. Japanese text is just faster. And I'm actually playing on a Japanese cartridge, so I get the added benefit of getting the voiceover. On English cartridges, you can actually set the language to Japanese, but I was dumb and bought a Japanese cartridge anyways. So, with this game's combat, it's taken into an isometric view, and I'm going to be using specific power moves. Usually with Sonic, I'm going to set to power as my land special, because right here with this ring throw, if I start up right next to whoever you're fighting, you can get a lot of damage rather than just randomly just shoot them from a distance. But so with this shot ability, I'm just going to be trying to shoot them down with the wave, because they'll rack up a little bit more damage. So yeah, if I shoot from afar, it won't cause that much damage. So, and I got a Shadow Healing ability, and I'm tempted to put that on Emerald, but it's probably not the best idea, but it might help out with the Knuckles fight later on, which is pretty much the key point of this run, where a lot of things can go terribly right or terribly wrong. And I said terribly right, but whatever. So right now we're going to fight Rouge because she's acting suspicious. But she apparently wants Emerald to be her personal thief. She just wants to be... I don't know, I can't remember the exact story, but she apparently wants him to just... she wants it to be the her little training buddy. And steal all the jewels. So same strategy applies here. Just kind of throw the ring. But unfortunately I have to wait for Rouge to float down, because that's one of her special properties. And that's going to be kind of annoying to deal with. However, I'm going to try and do a combo attack here. And unfortunately I didn't get the proper finisher. Usually I want to do what Rouge just did to me, and then I follow it up with the an air shot. Hopefully I can get another chance to do this in a second. So yeah. I got to fight her twice, which that's a recurring theme in this whole game, is that you have to fight these battles in duels, kind of a dual pack of sorts. So that was the little combo I was talking about there, where I do just the standard punch kick, and then aerial. I'll be able to follow it up with an air shot. So that's basically what Sonic would do. Tails has his own abusive ability that we can see later down the line. Oh yeah, just need to finish off Rouge here. First fight could have gone by a little bit better, but second fight went about as planned. So now we gotta go back to Tails' lab and see what Tails has done with his with our robot friend. But unfortunately, we've got a faker. So apparently these robots have been committing crimes and whatnot, but they're just kind of a poor man's copy of Emerald that Eggman's been working on. Whoop. Didn't work out. Okay, for sitting there, I thought I'd have to do this I'd have to do the POW move the third time. Okay. Just got one more hit on him. So, one thing about this game, when it comes to the AI, they always change out what they're going to be weak to, and what special moves they would do. How it usually alternates, but sometimes they do keep up the same pattern. So it's pretty much RNG down to... It's just going to be complete RNG as to what they're weak to. But it's usually going to be a 50-50 chance. So now we're going to be doing a little bit of a training montage. Where we're going to be showing off the capture system where Emerald can copy abilities. However, this system is kind of a lie, because they seem to imply that if you do the certain moves multiple times, then Emerald will obtain that ability, but it's not true. See, since I had to do 5 heavy attacks, and this next one I have to do some uppers. So I just have a specific amount of time to do this, but I can do this. Thankfully the upper doesn't kill Emerald. So I'm going to say this, if I got super lucky in this run, I'd have to, like, the best RNG for this run is to basically get a rare card, which is the ultimate healing ability, which is, I don't know what the percentage of that even showing up is, but it's incredibly rare to get a hold of. Which basically lets you heal up and charge an instant kill with your special move. So it's pretty broken. Also, we're gonna back out of this fight because there's some fights there that will let you back out. Because in this fight, they would have like said, "Oh, let's just go to the beach anyways. This area is too small to fight in." So we're just gonna go to the beach instead now. So there are gonna be several fights where we're gonna do that sort of similar concept of just backing out. Especially in Tales' story, where we've got a lot more going on. And unfortunately, Tails and Emerald are not on the same page here. So that makes it a bit problematic to kill him. Well, okay, that was weird. For center, I thought... okay, I guess he was guarding with different abilities. But yeah, I usually want to kill both of them at the same time, and I don't want Tails to steal any of my kills. Because it's down to whoever gets 10 kills first will win the fight. Okay. Just need to make sure I kill both of them. Oh, unfortunately, Tails got one of my kills on Emerald. Unfortunately, AI is not cooperating with me. Okay, that was a bit of a mess. Yeah, basically what Kirby said. Alright, so... now we gotta move on to Tails' house, where there's another faker! Alright, so... since we have a very base Emerald, you'll see how slow as butter he is. Now, if I were lucky, this fake Emerald would have actually thrown a punch while I was mid-air, and I'd be able to basically chain my special. But unfortunately, it didn't really happen with that first fight. But let's see if he does it this time. Like that. Just need him to do that a bit more. Okay. It's just me hitting him with the rolling ball. That's really all it is. Yeah, the AI doesn't tend to swap up on its guarding. And yes, Cream Heal is also very broken, but we just won't see that at any point during Sonic or Tails' story because you never encounter Cream. What would be ideal is if I get a heal card from Knuckles. Also, right there, I want to guard Gamma's explosion with this fight, because if you do, you can charge up your special meteor. I can't remember what it's actually called. So I'm gonna try and heal up a little bit so I can get an instant kill here. So, there we go. Ichikoro gauge. I knew it started with 9, I just couldn't remember. This isn't exactly one of my more focused speed games. And yes, Sonic's heal ability is also pretty slow. Most of the heal abilities are really slow in this game, except with the exception of Knuckles, Cream, and the ultimate healing ability. Tails doesn't have a really bad one either. Yes, I did get Gamma Heal. Unfortunately, that really only does... that only heals them more, so... It doesn't really range... it doesn't raise up my Ichikoro gauge. I'm actually not 100% sure, because I've never gotten it this early before, so... I went no. Oh. At least Gamma's animation for healing is pretty good. I managed to actually get that. Oh, he chained me. Yeah, unfortunately, deaths can happen. Oh, yes. Emerald can look pretty funny, especially when he gets, like, Chaos's abilities. Because it looks really out of place if you apply any of Chaos's skill cards. Alright, so this is Knuckles. And this is where things could either go really well or really badly, but more than likely it's going to go really poorly. So what I want to do is try and bounce off the wall whenever he does his combo, so I can fill up my Ichikoro gauge. But that's going to be really difficult, because sometimes he likes to do uppers like that. Oh, whoops, that's... Okay, I tried doing pause buffering there, but you can accidentally back out, and that's something I have a problem doing. So I have to restart the fight here. Oh, come on, Knuckles. Ah, okay. I'm gonna have to probably fight him normally. Unfortunately, Knuckles is not cooperating here. Yeah, it is impossible. There's just the game does cap you with how many skill points you can get. Ah. Didn't react properly to that. I wanted to try and deflect it. It's much better if I try to use this upcoming strat on the next fight. Because basically I'm going to use... What I'm wanting to do is basically fill up my Ichikoro gauge to the point where I could start up an instant knockout, but I'm going to cancel my special ability before I hit the ground. It'll actually let me use infinite instant knockouts if I'm lucky. But unfortunately, Knuckles, nope. If there was a wall there, that would have been really good, but unfortunately, it's just not really that great to work. Ooh. Now I get the Knuckles heal ability. I can definitely use that for the next, well, I can't do it for the next one because I don't use Emerald in the next story. If I were going for any percent, then yeah, that would be really useful. Oh, couldn't cancel the heal in time. Keeps doing it. Ultimately, if I manage to get up enough damage, I will fill up my Ichikoro gauge, but that's a little risky. But again, I want to basically deflect his attack and be able to bounce off a wall, because that will just fill up the wall, or the... He always does it at very weird times, and I'm not expecting it. And, okay, Knuckles is absolutely hammering me. Okay. Okay, I was gonna let him kill me there. So unfortunately this is not going out as planned. Okay, keep doing the traps, please. Okay. Ah, okay. Well, this is where things can get interesting. So, I just did a special attack, and I still have, like, my instant knockouts. So basically what's happening is I'm doing the special attack before I hit the ground, and that basically cancels the animation, but it also... It basically acts like I did the special attack, but at the same time, it realizes, oh, you haven't really finished it, so you can't really lose your Ichikoro gauge. So I'm just doing instant knockouts. So it's very useful throughout the later game. Okay. I also want to be careful and not lose it. But thankfully, that's the end. It could have gotten a lot worse, but that's just how it is. But yeah, that's pretty much Sonic's story. Just have to let Knuckles give us the Chaos Emerald, so we can feed it to Emerald. But yeah, Knuckles is just still very wary about Emerald as a whole, but Knuckles grows to like him throughout this story. So after giving Emerald his second Emerald, because he already has one Emerald within him that Eggman gave him just so he could awaken in the first place. Because, yeah, Emerald is like some sort of ancient super weapon, and feeding him the Chaos Emeralds is necessary to reach full potential. Alright. So now we're on to Tails' story. Unfortunately, we're not going to be seeing any more of that glitch, because there is one point where I could be playing as Emerald, but that fight can be skipped entirely. So we're just going to be playing as Tails completely. It's only going to be him. So Tails is coming out to the beach and see what Sonic and Emerald are up to. Obviously training, because that's all they do. So this fight can be skipped, because Tails is like, wait, why are we doing this? Why are we fighting? It's like, come on, let's get serious. I want to take Emerald to the Central City Lab and see what's up with him. So Emerald is basically recognized that Sonic is pretty much his master, almost. But Sonic can completely transfer ownership to him, to whoever. So yeah, we're trying to get into the lab here, but they reject us. So we're going to just kind of ponder and see what we can do. However, a good friend of ours, Rouge, has come to our aid. She challenges us to a duel for the lab pass. But, yeah, just backing out of this fight, she was just like, whatever, you people are nice. I'm just gonna give you the lab pass. Because why not? Alright. So, this would normally be a very annoying fight to deal with because Rouge likes to float around. So she's just like, gives up the lab pass and now we can actually go into the building. Let's see what's up with Emerald. So, again, this whole game is very text heavy. It's almost like a visual novel in a way. It's basically Doki Doki Literature Club, but with fighting, and no choices to speak of to change the story. I mean, I'm like 25% right on this, I guess. So basically, the lab is trying to, basically, Tails here hooks up Emerald, and they're trying to figure out information about Emerald's past and all that. However, once they access this data, they're gonna be swamped with, security robots, and that's all we're going to be fighting for a little while. So yeah, the security robots are suspiciously... They look exactly like Gamma, except they're gray. So they're fakers. Okay. Let's start with power here. So, Tails has a pretty broken ability with his trap ability, which we're just gonna lay here. And we're just gonna chain in the air, because Tails' Smart Bomb will just actually activate mid-air, and once you cancel it, it'll explode in mid-air. So essentially, you can basically trap your enemies in mid-air, and it just becomes an infinite chain. So it gets really silly. And unfortunately, the security robot is not giving me good RNG here when it comes to predicting what he wants to do. So, like Gamma, I'm just going to block the explosions so I can fill up the Ichikaro gauge. So, just chain the Smart Bomb. Oh, unfortunately. That was my dumb. Sometimes it's really hard to see where Tails might actually land. Yeah, so Tails is basically flicking off his enemies and they explode in midair. So yeah, that's basically what all this fighting's gonna be about. We're just gonna be spamming the trap ability. So now we've got more robots. So hopefully they will all be on the same page here, so I can chain them. So I'm just gonna be spamming. Oh, okay. I don't know how I didn't take damage and not block it. That was very weird. So, that was my dumb. Wait, I want to group them together so I can just kill them all in one little grouping, but again, they can be on completely different pages and could be blocking different things. Okay, I was hoping I wouldn't actually fill up my Uchikoro gauge there, so I could insta-kill one of these, at least. Oh, okay. That didn't work out quite the way I wanted it to. But yeah, just going to spam trap once again. So now we're just gonna make a run for it. We're just gonna be caught up with more bots. So back to this nonsense again. There's just gonna be long interludes of just text only, and then suddenly we've got like a bunch of fights. It doesn't seem like it'll ever end. I want to try and sync these guys up, but I don't think I can. Yeah, okay. They're not on the same page here. It's very rare that they'll actually be on the same page for, like, at least the whole fight. Because one of them will definitely do something different from the other. And they'll throw things out of whack. So we're just gonna flick them off a bit more. Oh, and I'm dead. Let's try that again. Ah. Not really cooperating here. Okay. This is getting a little sloppy here. These guys are comboing me. Oh, Lord. Okay. At least there's only one of them left now. Okay. Where is he? Okay. Just flick him off, because he deserves it. Alright, so we're still outlaws now. Just need to keep going. But now we're gonna head into a different direction, and we're going to end up coming across Shadow. And now he's wanting Emerald yet again. So back to yet another duel. It's going to be the same principle here, except I can't guard on the death animation since, well, Shadow doesn't explode, you know? Unless falling into the atmosphere counts as exploding. But yeah, same principle applies here with the trap ability. Just spam midair. Nope. Looks like the thunderstorms are back. Alright, this freaking... Okay, sometimes Shadow can move a little a ways from the bomb, and it becomes kind of a game of chase. And I could have canceled it, but it was... I don't know, I was already being cornered. That would cause a bit of problems. Okay. There we go. Just need to flick them off. So thankfully Shadow can usually get launched up pretty high, so it gives me a little bit more time to set up the trap up in midair. Alright, so that's basically Shadow in a nutshell. Same as basically every other fight. I'm still a little salty that I got the Knuckles heal ability way earlier, but it would have been great for an 80% run. But unfortunately, couldn't deal with that. Because 80% takes several hours to go through. So, we're still technically under the pursuit of the robots, so we're going to try and escape to Holy Summit. But we got basically one more security buy right here in front of this office. The next thing we gotta do after this, though, is meet up with Knuckles. But yeah, back to the grind again. Thankfully, there's just one robot here, so it doesn't make things super complicated. One robot is easier to predict than two of them. Or three of them. I gotta say, I really love this strat. Honestly, this is probably my favorite story out of the bunch, only because how dumb this strat is. Emerald's story is also pretty good, but okay, come on. Okay, good. I'd left that out for an instant knockout, but he wasn't taking the bait. Because I couldn't spawn in another one, because otherwise that would cancel the 1 KO glitch. Well, I don't like glitch, what am I thinking? I am very tired today. And I still have one more run that's going to be about 3 hours long right after this. Alright, so flick him off. Dead. I just love how it's flicking him off is how you kill him. So now all the security robots have been dealt with. We still need to escape to Holy Summit. We're gonna talk to Knuckles. Knuckles gets pretty mad at Emerald because reasons. Ora ora! But Tails, well, Tails pretty much intervenes and tells you to stop if you just quit out. So now we're on to the next fight, which is the actual security robot, which is Gamma. All the others were fakers. So Gamma actually has a bit more health than the others. So it's going to take a little bit longer to kill him. Well, in this game, Gamma is classified as Chaos Gamma. I can't remember why he calls him that. Why Gamma is referred to as that. I think it's just because he has a Chaos Emerald in him. I think. I can't remember, to be honest. I think that's where one of the last Chaos Emeralds is located. I don't think I've actually read through this game's story in several years, so it's kind of a really hazy mess for me to remember what goes on. Yeah, okay. Apparently I have to flick him off first. And he self-destructs midair. Good stuff, Gamma. Thankfully I have teammates here, but usually they're going to be pretty annoying to deal with. Sometimes they'll throw away an instant knockout, but there's no guarantee they'll actually do that. But on the rare occasion they'll be helpful. Yeah, Omega would never work for Eggman. It'd just be viable for Eggman to just use old copies of robots. So, once this fight's over, it's pretty much the end of the story, except we've got a lot of tech smashing to go through. Okay, I should be able to get one more instant knockout here. Oh, okay, that was weird. Oh, no, Knuckles That's all. Well, okay. I'm, okay, that doesn't surprise me. He actually was, he would have blocked that anyways, so he's off the pattern. But yeah, that's pretty much Tails' story. I just need to... Okay, so that's a rare card. That's Cream's, I think it said 1, so I assume that's her first support card. I don't exactly remember what the support cards really do. So to me, though, they're pretty useless, so getting 1 is just kind of a slap in the face. So yeah, just got this little cutscene here. Oh, it might have actually been one of the color ones. There's one that I can't remember. Yeah, there are the color cards. I couldn't tell if that was actually one of the color ones either. I kind of forget color cards exist sometimes. But yeah, not useful in any sort of way, unfortunately. But yeah, get ready on time once the screen fades to black. So I can't remember what is actually going on with this this conversation here, but it's something about Rouge kind of talking about what they found about Emerald or something, because she was apparently snooping in on what Tails was doing, or something like that. So yeah, this is actually the only story in the game where Emerald does not get a Chaos Emerald. Just to point that out. And time. I kind of forgot to mention that a little earlier, but it's not that important. But yeah, that's Sonic Battle. At least a sample of it.
47.
46, 47? Okay. At least it was underestimate. Oh yeah, not exactly the finest showcase. Kirby, it was apparently one of Cream's color cards. So it was obviously not something useful, but it was something. But yeah, up next we have Sonic Chronicles by some guy that I don't know. I think his name is Allegro. I'm not quite sure.